eye of terror sees all.
Mini Wargamer Dave here from MiniWargaming.com. Welcome, Wargamers, to the Shrine of Chaos. In today's episode, we're going to be giving away a special model. It is the Catachan Kernel. It is the Carl Weathers. It is the awesomeness that sparked so much fun and enthusiasm from the community a little while ago. It's not a brand new. It's still new. It's not like yesterday brand new or today or even tomorrow brand new, but it's a new model. Going to be giving it away. It's sponsored by Max Aggression Gaming, for those of you who know or who are local in the area, in the Niagara region, or heck, even in the Toronto area. I would say Buffalo, but border isn't exactly open yet, not just yet. So if you guys are wondering, Max Aggression Gaming is open. The Niagara Falls location is open. And so thank you very much, Dan Beatty, for that giveaway. I'll be doing that a little bit later in the show. I want to be talking about some of the new stuff that's come out since last Saturday. Some of the sneak peeks in the previews and the newness in the new models that GW has dropped on us, and kind of get our gaming fun factor wheels turning in our brains, which I was able to attend the preview last Saturday, and I was pretty excited about it. I made a video about the new trailer that came out, my thoughts and impressions on that. I also was able to catch all of it, so I caught all of the new stuff, as I'm sure many of you have as well. And so I'm curious, and yes, the answer to your question is the giveaway international? Yes, it is. It's international, so it doesn't matter where you are. Well, actually, hold on. Yes, it's international, so much as your postal system is able to accept a package from Canada, right? So if you're in Australia and for some reason the postal system is not accepting of packages, just as an arbitrary example, it could be anywhere. It could be in Russia, it could be in the UK, I don't know. As long as they accept it, we'll ship it out to you. There's nothing going to stop us on our end from shipping it out to you. So just so you're aware, just so you know, I thought you might want to know that. I think that'd be a fun thing to know. There's some new things that were talked about. The 9 new things that we can look forward to, which I want to go over in this live stream and get your thoughts and opinions on that too, because I think that'd be fun. I think to see what you guys think about it all. And there's a piece of news that I want to share with you. Not right now. I'll share it with you in a little bit. Some of you may know exactly what it is, according to some of the comments that have been left on the trailer video that I made, or the response to the trailer video that I made last Saturday. Someone may have commented on it, and some people saw the comment for sure. I'm not going to tell you what the comment is yet, because I want to save that for later. I know that I am personally excited for it. Erwin Rommel, you are a Bernie bro. I'm getting distracted. I'm not sure what any of that means. I don't know what that means. I'm not even going to respond to it. So anyway, that's something that I want to talk to you guys about as well. One of the exciting things that I think is cool is we get to retain our codexes. We don't have to throw them out, which is nice. We don't have to look forward to, oh man, we got to replace all our books now, because they said that you can keep the old codexes, and so that's really neat. I think that's neat how all that stuff kind of stays in place, and we can retain what we have, because I don't know about you guys, but here in the studio, we have every book, we have every release that was in 9th edition, or 8th edition rather, and we have every up-to-date book. So it would be a pain, to say the least, to have to replace everything, which isn't the end of the world, but it's still a big pain if we had to replace every single book as it came out. It's nice knowing that the library of books that we have, that we've collected over the years, we're still able to use, which I like it. Hey Dave, is your wife still enjoying 40K? Says James Istid. And the answer is yes, indeed she is still enjoying 40K. In fact, we are playing a game against each other tomorrow, and we're going to be playing another Blood Angels versus Chaos game. This time we're changing it up a bit. Before we were doing the slow grow, which was awesome and fun, and she loved it. Now what we're gonna do is, I was gonna make a post about this, but I might as well tell you guys about it now. We're gonna pose a question to you guys, and here's the question: you have 500 points to create a. It's 500 because it's bite sized and it's small, and she is, after all, still learning 40k in general and Blood Angels. So, 500 points. With that 500 points, build a Blood Angels army. Put whatever HQ you want. Make sure it's you're using the points, because that's what we're gonna do. We haven't actually used points yet in a game. We've only ever just added units according to rule of cool, completely disregarding points and power for that matter. Now, we're building an army using points. What points would you recommend she add to her Blood Angels? And she make a 500 point list, just a small bite-sized army. What do you think it should be? And that's what we're gonna do. So she's gonna build hers, and I'm gonna build mine, and we're gonna fight against each other. We're gonna do 2 games, and then we'll post those. Those will be posted not this week, but probably next week when the editing is done on those. All dreadnoughts. And by all means, go. Hey Dave, how will the assault intercessors be as Blood Angels? I can't wait. Yes, I can't wait for that too, because I'm excited for that. After all, I am a Blood Angels player at the end of the day, in addition to Chaos, of course. So I'm very excited about that as well. So that's the task. I'm going to make a post about that. 500 points. You know what? I'm going to do it on the Facebook group. Why not? Let's do it on the Facebook group. In fact, in real time, I'm just going to do it right now. I'm just going to post on it right now, because why not? I like posting on the group because it's very interactive. There's a lot of good, like, instant interactivity with it. A lot of people are quite active on the group. And so here you go. What Blood Angels or Blood Angel army would you make with only 500 points to spare? In brackets, this is for Farah's battle against Dave's Chaos in their game tomorrow. Okay. Post. Oh, we got to capitalize the W here. There you go. Post. That's in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. I encourage you to do that. So that's the question. What 500 points would you do? Jerky Jones says, as a guy that loves Chaos Space Marines, do you hate regular Space Marines, or do you still like them and think they're cool, just not as much as Chaos? Well, to answer your question, Jerky Jerk, Chaos will always be my number one love. So everything pales in comparison when it comes to that. I just, the rule of cool. I love their aesthetic. I love their play. I love their feeling. I love how I feel when I field them and play with them. So to answer your question, everything, it takes a backseat to that. However, I will say this: I am a Space Marine fan when it comes to Blood Angels and Space Wolves. For some reason, those 2 chapters are just, they speak to me. I myself, my blood in real life, I am half Viking, I am Norwegian, and so it calls to me. And for the Blood Angels, for some reason, I just have this thing in my mind that I think they're Chaos. I don't know why. I think it's actually because they are Chaos. They have to quench this. They have to suppress this rage. And so, like, to me, that's a berserker, right? That's just a fancy way of saying I'm a berserker. I want to get in there and kill stuff. I can't control my anger. Like, that to me is really, really, that's more Chaos than other Chaos legions in some cases. Like, that's really awesome. Heck, if let's flip this around for a second. Let's say that Blood Angels originally were one of the 9 that fell to Chaos. Would it be so far-fetched? Would it be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, they're Blood Angels. They're one of the Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, that would be completely acceptable, completely. And it would only happen probably after the fall of the Primarch. But that would be completely plausible and believable, and I would buy into it, and I think that that would be fun to watch and see. But that isn't the case officially. Now, that not every single Blood Angel is that way, but as a whole, battling this inner darkness, that's what it is. That's really what it is. Yeah. Seems legit, right? They totally did fall to chaos that one time in Horus Heresy. My wife and I will be splitting the new box set when it comes out. I'll be doing Black Templars and she will be rocking the Necron, says Chris Price. See, that's awesome. That's fantastic to hear. I love hearing that. That is super cool. And you know what? Here's a cool thing, too. I typically don't care about Necrons, right? Like, Necrons are just Necrons. There's boring robots. I don't get a personality list. Like, that's my feeling. How much of that is actually true? I don't know. I haven't spent the time to, like, read and dig into the lore of the Necrons specifically. All I know is my impression of them. And that is what it is. It's cold. It is steely. It's really hard to relate to them. But I'm sure they have a lot more personality when you dive into the books and stuff like that. But I haven't. So I haven't had that awakening yet within myself. Now, that being said, taking a look at some of the new models, they look pretty cool. And some of the close combat-ness of them. In fact, you know what? Here, let's do this. Let's actually go over here. I'm gonna go like this. Game capture, boop, and then let's go to boop. Let's take a look at some of this, because this is their post that they posted a few days ago. This isn't brand new, but I want to look at it just because it shows off the new models. And this is this the number one thing I'm excited for? Because it applies to Blood Angels in a very specific, awesome-y way? I think it might be. The Assault Primaris is just going to be super cool, I think. Right? Like, look at this. Chainsword, meat mulching. And by the way, whoever writes this stuff, they know how to write in such a way where you kind of, you look at it and you can, I didn't mean to click on that. You look at it and you get excited about it. And then it just stops. Okay, all right, let's go like this. Warhammer Community. It's not how you spell it, but it's close enough. Boom, 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 boom. All right, where'd it go? Where's the post? New? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. Come on, where is it? I literally just had it. Here it is. Okay. Did you guys not see that? Able to view in 360 degrees? I guess, yeah, I guess that would be, there's responding to the video. I thought it was going to, like, pop out and then we can, like, spin this around. So, this one, okay, cool. Like, the new Necron Warrior. That's neat. But I'm looking at this guy here. This towering killer, as it says, as it is described. The Scorpek Lord. See, now that looks like it would be terrifying to take out in close combat. And if you look at him, if you look at his limbs, like, to me, he kind of reminds me of, he's almost as if a Tyranid had no flesh, but it had a completely mechanical skeleton. That's what this reminds me of. That's how that would look like. In fact, how cool would it be if that was actually a thing? But that's what the look, the aesthetic reminds me of that. That guy's probably stupid, hard to take out in close combat. And I wouldn't be surprised if, because it's Necrons and they're hard to kill in general, if there was some sort of Gazgul rule where it took multiple phases to take him out. Would not be surprised at all if that was the case. All right, now I'm going to go back to you guys for a minute and get your thoughts on that. Spare Tyranid sprue used for legs. Kind of what it looks like, right? I'd assume painting them, you wouldn't have to make the noses show up so much. Anybody know how to get in the raffle? Well, this is how you get in the raffle. You just got to stay on the show, and I'm going to be randomly picking out a name at the end of the show. That's how it is. that's how that's going to work. Oh, by the way, as a reminder, if you guys are coming here because of the giveaway, it is the Katachan Kernel, sponsored by Max Aggression Gaming. And thank you very much, Dan. By the way, as a reminder, his Niagara Falls location is open right now. So if you guys want to go there and pick up your goodies, your wargaming goodness and models and whatever else you want to do, his location, Niagara Falls, is open. Hey Dave, what do you think about the suggestion the Blood Angel players have to put up to pay CP to make the new assault assessors in Death Company? About the suggestion that Blood Angels have to put up. Well, okay, this is how I feel about that. Anything that makes Death Company better is, I mean, I'm gonna take it, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it takes to get there, as long as there is an option for it to happen. I will probably take that option, just because it's fun and because it's the chaos in me, and it's really they're berserkers in my mind, and that's how I feel. That's how it works. That's what I want it to end up being, and that's what's gonna happen. Russell Higgins says, first, Blood Angels rule. Dante and Mephiston against the rest of the universe. Fair fight. Second, the Primaris Assault Marines. Soon, we will just drop Primaris, and they will just be Marines, and the mini-Marines will go away. Do you think so? Do you think that's eventually what they're going to do? I mean, if that is eventually what happens, I mean, that is what's going to happen, and we have no control over that. But, I mean, maybe I'll fill them with putty. See, I personally hope that doesn't happen, because they're still usable, right? I know they're pushing Primaris and they want to sell a lot of Primaris. And if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it doesn't happen, I'll also be happy, because there's so many models. There's so many models that we have that are just not Primaris, that it would be really sad. And I'm sure you guys understand as well, for the years and years you've been collecting these guys, and all of a sudden Primaris, and hopefully it doesn't make it so the rest of my army is obsolete and redundant. That's really the feeling that we have about this. Having to pay CP to run fun things like Nurgle Demons with a Death Guard just seems silly. But here, the interesting thing about that is that it rewards, I mean, to me, it rewards you playing a mono army, and it gives you the option to still do that stuff, but you got to pay the price for it, which is the same across the board for everybody. And since it is, then it feels like it's more fair. Feels like it, without knowing the absolute intricacies of how it will work, just from face value, from that description. I think that it's a step in the right direction. Now, seeing how it's actually going to be executed is a different story, obviously. We don't know 100% certain yet. But the idea seems like, okay, all right, that's cool. Because I know there's some other armies that could not. They just simply, they couldn't, without the help of other codexes, really be good. Can I win? Says Facebook user. Well, that's interesting, because you say Facebook user, but then another Facebook person, it has their name on it. So I think it depends on where you're coming from on Facebook. Now, right now, we're going live on our Facebook page and on the Facebook group, and I can't tell you which one shows your name. Rob Deckerlegand. Sorry if I said your name wrong. All I know is that I'm able to see your name and you're on Facebook. So if you're on the Facebook page, could you specify, yes, I'm on the Facebook page, or I'm in the Facebook group? Whichever one you specify, that's the Facebook one that you'll need to be on for me to be able to see your name specifically. Dan Max Aggression is also a great painter, says Larry Denmark, and I can attest to that because he has painted some models that I have. Absolutely, yes. Hey, Dave, will there be a guest today? The guest is you, Mr. Blachnik. Gerf Pritch said, did you know your Gmail address was showing at the top of your browser? Nope, I didn't know that. I can only just hope that you don't spam me. But if you have a specific question for me afterwards, then ask away. I haven't dabbled in the hobby since before 7th, and I'm thinking of going into Imperial Guard. Would you have any advice for starting out with that faction? Having never collected Imperial Guard, what would I say about that? Well, apparently, if you collect tanks, there's going to be some special things happening to tanks very soon in 9th edition. So I would get tanks, because that seems to be what they're all about. I remember back many years ago when it was like you couldn't fight the mechanized tank force of an Imperial Guard. They used to be number one. So that was, I guess you can't go wrong if you focus on tanks when you're Imperial Guard. Now this is coming from a non-Imperial Guard player. All I know is that seems like it's fluffy for them, and then for you to be able to still shoot at things that are in close combat with you, or shoot at other things that are from afar, that seems like it makes them more powerful. I would go with tanks. That's me. That's a non-Imperial Guard's opinion of what to do when fighting Imperial Guard. Just working out, listening to Shrine of Chaos. Pretty great day, says Black Templar. What kind of workouts are you doing? Are you doing 888 push-ups because Khorne wants it? I'm thinking of getting 2 to 3 new starter boxes as I play both Ultramarines and Necrons. Games Workshop loves you, Mr. Curvin. I love the idea of making terrain matter. I like that idea too, of making terrain matter. That is always a good thing, and that makes it so much better, especially for close combat armies. Oh man, I can't wait to have close combat rewarded like that. Oh man, have I ever been waiting many editions for that? Especially with Khorne Berserkers. Like, can you imagine, guys? Can you just imagine? You use the terrain to your advantage. You can actually run up to the enemy, not get blasted before you make it there. Even though they have their one stratagem where you can move, like, 9 inches or whatever. Like, big deal. That doesn't help much. It just makes it so they die sooner. I think the terrain, like, I am really looking forward to seeing how that works and making Berserkers act how they should, how they act in the lore, right? Like, make it so they're as dangerous as they can be. Now, obviously, there's delivery systems. You can put them in rhinos and whatever, which is still cool, which is still fun. But what if you just don't have the rhinos? Or what if you have other things that you want to drive up instead of that? It just makes it so there's more options for you, and I like it. Maybe they won't need to pay as much as they have a keyword in common. I don't know, but I do agree that as I use Slanesh demons with my Emperor's Children at times, but just for fun with a Supreme Command. It says D Nexus K. Yeah. I can't wait for that to happen. You know, like, when is that going to be? We don't know. Like, later on. It'll be in a little bit. It'll be like we got a little bit of 8th edition left. All I know is that they said Primaris were for every chapter plus Death Watch, so I guess they'll get the Assault ones, says James David Holmes. I don't play a whole lot of Death Watch. Death Watch are cool, though. I used them one time in a campaign, and they were fun. They were actually fun. A lot of opportunities for storytelling. Loyalist Berserkers? Dave confirms? Well, are Berserkers loyal? Are they? I mean, Khorne is honorable, right? So maybe that's your answer right there. I think it won't be bad if the CP cost isn't too steep. Still feels weird that detachments now do nothing, but still exist. Do they absolutely do nothing? Has it been confirmed that they do absolutely nothing? I guess they just... Yeah, if you're given the same amount of command points, I mean, that's how you get command points before, right? Just through detachment. So what do they do now? You know, I think maybe, I don't know if they do nothing. If they're going to keep it the same, then you still need a detachment to have access to certain rules in your codexes. Some of those rules don't apply if you're not in a detachment. So maybe that's the reason to still keep detachments. It's to still be Battleforged in that sense. And just the command points are different. They're a whole other layer of rules on top of that. I think that's what that means. I do like the new Marines, especially in the end of my Night Lord sites. Ben Pollard, I don't think you could have said it any better. Eric Thompson, from what you've gathered from Crusade missions, what ideas are you formulating for stories to tie in a Crusade campaign? Ooh, that's you know what I think, because the way in which we battle here at Mini Wargaming is we kind of do more narrative anyway. That's kind of how, that's the flavoring we choose. That's awesome because that just makes it so it's that much easier to make regular battle reports. I say regular battle reports, so non-narrative, non-tied in with the general narrative battle reports. That can kind of make them more campaigny and narrative in nature just by being normal battle reports. And I think that's cool. That is fun. What ideas do I have? Heck, I have a floodgate of ideas. Okay, well here, you know what? I'm just going to spill the beans right now. I wasn't going to tell you till later on in the show, but I'm going to tell you right now. Farah, my wife Farah, when she saw the trailer for 9th edition, she got excited, and she said, "What army is that, Dave? I want to play them." And she was referring to the Sisters of Battle. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not surprised that she said that and that it kind of came to that eventually. Like, she saw the Blood Angels at first. But after seeing how the sisters were portrayed in that video, it made her extremely excited. And so she is literally right now reading the Codex. And she's going to play the sisters now. So I just got to say, like, that's pretty cool. You can see her liking sisters, right? Yeah, I can see her liking sisters too. Because she does already like sisters. And here's, okay, all yesterday, she was doing this. She was reading the Codex. We're outside in the backyard by the pool, right? The kids are jumping in the pool, and I was in there with them. And Farah, she was just kind of sitting in the chair outside with us, and she was reading the Codex. And then she would all of a sudden, she would say these cool things. Well, things that were cool to her, but it made them fun because she got so excited about it. Like, here's an example. She's like, Dave, did you know that the Adeptus Mechanicus actually make the armor for the sisters? So she said that. Like, and to be honest, I didn't know that because I don't know much about the sisters. I've never read anything about them specifically. All I know about the sisters is that when I was first introduced to 40K 13 years ago, I saw sisters and I saw space nuns. And I thought, nope, I don't want to play that. I want to play something else. That was my initial first impression of sisters. And ever since then, it's like, okay, I don't really care. I want to play something that speaks to me. Oh, Chaos, awesome, cool, right. And then their new stuff came out, and but now that I'm learning more, through osmosis, by the way, through Farah reading stuff, they're getting more of a personality to me, even though it's completely goes against Chaos. It's like complete anti-Chaos, basically. But because of the human aspect of it, they are humans, and they have certain things that they do that are relatable. And last night she was reading, and she was telling me, she's like, so get this, Dave, they every single tooth on their chainswords has an inscription on it, and every one is blessed. And the ceremony that these sisters go through to receive their weapons of war is a big deal. And they can actually use someone else's weapon. They can use the weapon of a fallen comrade on the battlefield. But when they do that, there's a certain ceremony that they got to go through on the battlefield for that to happen. And it's a big honor for that to occur. And so as she was explaining this to me, in my mind I was thinking, I mean, that's cool. I never knew that before. That's really neat. As much as I don't like the sisters, like I don't care about the sisters, I do like that there's a lot of flavor and personality to the sisters, and I like that she likes the sisters. So there's this whole thing going on with in my mind right now. I'm like, I feel like I got this emotional whiplash, because it's like, on the one hand, I'm not interested in the sisters, but on the other hand, I love that she's interested in the sisters, which is making me interested in the sisters and knowing things about them because of her excitement is contagious. And so we're actually gonna do another series, and the new series is going to be, which by the way, I'm gonna make a post about it. I'll make a poll about it. What the first units she should collect for all of the sisters players out there. You can glean some experience and some information to help Farah. And we're gonna make a video tomorrow, and watch out for that video because she'll be asking you guys, because she's brand new to not just 40k but to playing the sisters as well. She wants to get into playing the sisters and what you would recommend. And so watch out for that video. She's going to be making that video. We'll be posting that, and then you can comment on the video and lend your thoughts. Be careful if your wife starts to find out if you're getting interested in her models. What? In her sisters. Oh, no, that's okay. That won't happen. I don't think. No. Think about it, Dave. What if it was Tau that she liked and was into playing? That would be true chaos. That won't happen. That is the language of blasphemy, so we don't have to worry about that. Wow, so Mechanicus simp for Sororitas. Well, they make their armor. That's all I know. Ask Luca, don't he play with them? Okay, it's funny. He has played with them, but he doesn't play with them much. Like, we actually talked about this in our meeting on Monday, because we're all like, Luca, you play them, right? Like, what do you know about them? He's like, I don't play them. I don't know much about them. I played them a few times, but that's it. And so, out of all of us at Mini Wargaming, he knows the most about them, and he doesn't know much about them because he really doesn't play them. So, it's funny. So, really, no one really plays them here at Mini Wargaming. Not properly, anyway. Like, not as they're one of their main armies that they play. What do you think of Genestealer Cult? Can I run an army of bikes? Well, you can do anything you want, really. All I know about Genestealer Cult is that that's another one of those armies that doesn't excite me. I'll be absolutely honest. Like, I don't... It's really hard. It is very hard for me to get excited about an army that just is to be honest, a Xenos army. Like, unless it's orcs, because I like orcs, and I would totally play orcs. I have played orcs in the past, not as like my main army, but a few games with orcs, and it's fun. Orcs are fun to play. Unless it's orcs, I don't like Xenos, and so I just can't. What do I say to that? I say, if you have fun playing them, then all the power to you. I don't get excited about it, and that's just my 2 cents on it. Would I play against it? Sure. Even playing against Xenos armies is a little, like, in my mind, I have more fun when I don't play against Xenos, when I play against Space Marines. Or Orcs, actually. I got my Prophecy of the Wolf, which means I got my first Primaris. Been resisting because I love my Blood Claws, but they are in the box. Any suggestion about building Infiltrators versus Incursors? From what I have done in the past, and this relates to Blood Angels, not Space Wolves specifically, but I imagine it is a similar thing with the Infiltrators. You could do your deployment where you could start up closer, which is nice, especially if it's an objective game. You have a lot more flexibility and maneuverability with those guys. And so there was actually one game that I chose Infiltrators, and I had like 3 units of them, and they were all up the board. So they were basically, I had board control at the beginning of turn 1, and it was nice because it forced my opponent to focus on them when the real threat was not them. It was my dreadnoughts and my aggressors and my other units that were actually the true threat. And so I mean, they're very good. There's a lot of utility use, and plus they're, at the end of the day, they're Primaris, right? They will be harder to kill, and they are decent when they are in close combat, because they are, especially in the assault doctrine, they just get more close combat attacks because Khorne wants it. Dave, at Mini Wargaming, can you ask Matt to do Sit and Talk? We miss him. Also, any news on when you can go back in the studio, says Miso802. Yes, we do miss Matt. He's doing a fantastic job, by the way. He's actually working very hard behind the scenes working on the website. So if you guys have visited the website recently and you have seen that it works, it's what you expect it to work like. It's Matt is focusing all of his time on this, and he's working very hard. Matt went to school as a computer. He was learning computer science, so he knows how to computer program. He knows how to web develop, and he needs to focus time on it because he's learning new languages, and he's getting over the learning curve of doing all that right now. And so and he's very bright. He's very, in my opinion, he's a genius. He would never admit to that, but he is an absolute force when it comes to intelligence. And so a great job for Matt working so hard on that. And it's all behind the scenes, and it's a very he's not in the spotlight. It's non-rewarding in terms of he doesn't get the praise and the accolades as he should when it's behind the scenes, because he's not in the forefront, he's not in the spotlight, so it's hard to see. And it's a lot of the stuff that he's doing is behind the scenes. It's the functionality of the website, it's the user interface experience, it's all that stuff that you don't necessarily see. I get to do some of the fun stuff in terms of the website. Like I can make suggestions and actually create graphical assets that are applied to the website, which he then makes it so the programming makes sense for these things. And that's stuff that you can see. But a lot of the stuff that he does, you can't see. You can't really, if it works, if you click on a page and it works, and you click on a picture and it pops up, that's something that he has done, but you would never know it because it's all behind the scenes. So, and it will, it would be great when we can come back, when we can all go back to the studio and start making videos as per normal. And we hope that it is soon. It'll be when it is, ultimately. But Smithy's streams. Hey Dave, just hopped in. What's going on? And thank Matt for me. Absolutely, we will thank Matt. What's going on? We're in the middle of Shrine of Chaos right now, so welcome. In fact, if this is your first time attending a Shrine of Chaos, which is, I don't know where you're viewing it from. It could be on Periscope or Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Twitter is Periscope. Twitch is what I meant to say. Then welcome to the Shrine of Chaos. There's only one very important rule. It's just if you collect Tau, then goodbye. You got to leave because there's no chance of you getting the giveaway if you collect Tau. Obviously, I don't have any control over that, and you can just lie to me very easily. But if you do, Corn will know, and Corn is honorable. So just keep that in mind. I collect Demons of Corn, says Smithy Streams, and therefore you are always welcome in the Shrine of Chaos. Second ever Shrine of Chaos, Morgan Bandy says, well, welcome. Will people get kicked if you found out if they played Tau? Do you want to test this theory? Do you really want to know what would happen? I don't know if you want to really, really know. Maybe not. By the way, we are doing the giveaway. We're doing that soon. The giveaway is the Katachan Colonel. He is sponsored by Max Aggression Gaming. Max Aggression Gaming. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out in their store. If you are local in the Niagara region, their Niagara Falls location is open. Just so you guys know. What if you just paint Tau? Well, it depends. Are you painting the body of a dead Tau, of a base, of a berserker? Then absolutely you are welcome in the Shrine of Chaos. You got to really specify the question there. Alpha Legion or Black Legion? Well, Black Legion, and then Alpha Legion, because ultimately they may very well be Alpha Legion, even though they present themselves as Black Legion. You have to pledge allegiance to Chaos to win, I believe, or pledge not to can't win up too quick, not to play Tau. What if you collect Tau and play very poorly just to see them die horribly every match? Well then you are welcome. You are welcome in the Shrine of Chaos, because that's a beautiful sight, and you are certainly sacrificing yourself for the greater good when that happens. So that makes me smile. Thank you, Dave, for the inspiration to start a Blood Angels army. Do you have any thoughts on the upcoming close combat base Primaris unit? Says Jake McDonald, and these are my thoughts. Yes, I am very excited for them, for the Assault-Intercessor. Is that what you guys are calling them? Is it the short form of the name? We can't say Assault Intercessor. We have to say something shortened. Assault-Intercessor? Assault intercessor. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Obviously, like I think that's going to be great. Anytime you can add more close combat attacks to anything in close combat makes me happy, especially when it's fighting Tau and you survive the Overwatch. That makes me happy. I enjoy hearing that, seeing that. I think that'll be fun. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for like the nitty gritty of the rules to drop and for them to be implemented and for it to be a thing, and we could just continue going on, making all the cool coverage for it. Get rid of Tau, shield drones, and they'll be manageable. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's what we got to do, right? We got to kill the drones first before we kill the actual meat of the army. Isn't that every single time? Every single time, that's what happens. True Primaris Death Company. Yes, right? Like that, yeah. Did you expect Reavers to get reworked with Ninth? Yeah, I kind of expect something there, right? Because it's like, oh, all right, we got Assault Intercessors. What about the Reavers? Isn't that kind of what they were? But not. So, yeah, I expect something to happen with them. And if not, it's a shame. It really is. You know what would be cool? If there were maybe jump pack Reavers. See, I think that would make them neat. Heck, jump pack assault intercessors. Because that's basically your assault marine in Primaris form. That would be amazing. Thoughts on plague bearers being nerfed? I don't really play with them too much, so I'm not overly hurt about it, but I can certainly feel for the pain of my fellow Chaos players when you are saying this and feeling this. I don't like that. That's really what I don't. Hey Dave, thanks for answering Gene Stealer Cult question. Shame you don't like Xenos though. I understand what you mean about Xenos though. They sometimes feel a bit irrelevant in the main 40k story. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of how I feel about them. It is really unfortunate. Like, yeah, unless they're orcs, it's really hard for me to get into them, right? Like, in fact, you know what? Okay, I have a question for you, Xenos players. What is it about Xenos armies that draws you to them? Why do you play Xenos armies? Is it a matter of relatability? How do you relate to Xenos armies? I don't get it. I don't relate to them. It just doesn't make sense. For some reason, I relate to Chaos. It's just what makes sense to me. Even though, if you really think about it, are they human? Like, they are humanoid, superhuman, tainted by the awesomeness. Like, I don't know. It just, yeah, I want to know what you guys think, right? So, because orcs is the bestest. I mean, sure, I understand that. Did I talk about Ninth? We're kind of all talking about Ninth, everything. Just needed a break from Marines. Okay, so I just love the lore of Jakari. Okay, all right, just like the lore, that's cool. Right now we're talking about why people like Xenos, because I'm not particularly a Xenos army fan. Like, their lore is neat, but actually playing them on the battlefield is different. That means you're committing. You're committing to them, and you're gonna back them with your heart and be like, I want to win with these guys because they mean something to me. All the Space Marines look too similar to me. I like the variety of the Xenos. I mean, the Space Marines are very similar to each other. That's really it. And I think that's why I like the Chaos Space Marines, because as much as they are similar, they're different, and they have their own flavor. I like the additional twist of sci-fi fantasy. Okay. Play Necron because amusement of robot zombies, though my interest has drifted to sisters lately. I can see how, and I can see why. I think there's a strong argument to be made that Space Marine factions just all look too similar and are too samey aesthetically. I mean, they are very much samey aesthetically. They really are, and there's minor differences between them and their play styles, but at the end of the day, they're very much the same, right? Yeah, like from a distance, you'll see like blobs of color. You're like, okay, red, all right, Blood Angels, all right, blue Ultramarines, okay, all right, the yellow, Imperial Fist, okay, yeah, white Scars, okay. If you see like blobs of color, you know, but ultimately they all make up one Space Marine army because they're really all the same. Personally, always like the Nids. Okay, what is it about? That's probably the most Xenos. Out of all of the Xenos armies, that's probably the most Xenos army. Like, in terms of relatability. How the heck do you relate to a Nid? How? I mean, I could see fighting Nids. I like fighting Nids because I like stomping on bugs. But playing Nids, I'm trying to wrap my head around that. How do you play the Nids and like it and relate to it? It's just really hard for me to understand that. What is it about it? I played Nids for the aliens vibe. Okay. Could you also not play like catechins for the aliens vibe? Just on the flip side, the orcs are a blast to play. The amount of dice you roll only to hit 5 and 6 is amazing. Yes, I mean, out of all the Xenos armies, I like orcs the most, and I would actually play the orcs because there's a human aspect to them. They talk. They have feelings and emotions. They get angry at things, and they're hilarious. Necrons have this uniformity and homogenization that appeals to my OCD. See, now, OCD I can relate to. So, okay, I can see that. I see your point. When I first started, when I was young, I wanted to play something that wasn't Space Marines, as everyone plays Space Marines. Okay, you just want to do something different. Okay. That is why I am so not a guard lover, says DNexus K. The comments are going to come through quick, very quick. Play Tyranids for cool factor. They like stomping on bugs. Q PETA coming to get him. Oh, ha 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 ha. PETA. Well, okay. Then come and get me because I'm a bug killer. If you like to eat a lot, Nids. Okay. You know what? I've also heard this, and this is a throwback to Gary. He's a Nid player. I haven't seen him in many years, but he said, a day without dead gaunts is a day without sunshine. That's what he said. Nids are always hungry. Relatable. Okay. All right. As a long-term dungeon master, I relate more to the monsters' enemy factions like orcs and Tyranids. Okay. Vito coming in, dropping a truth bomb. Dropping a truth bomb. Oh, I see. Okay, Vito. How do we know this? Well, I never said that. No one ever said that they don't have emotions. All I said is, how can we relate to them? But you know what? They don't even have a mind of their own. So I explain that one. Huh? Yeah, if their synapse goes away. Okay, what do I do? What do I eat? Oh, I can't eat anything. Oh, I'm just gonna... okay, I'm gonna go away. I don't care about you guys. That's what happens. I feel Xenos almost feels like the bad guys without the chaos aesthetic, and sometimes it is just fun to be the bad guys. Okay. Alright, just like being the bad guy. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Necrons, because they're the original threat to life in the galaxy, and I also love their look. See, now that's rule of cool. See, I can relate to that. Want to be the bad guy? Play Chaos. Says the Sourwane. But are they the bad guys, though? I don't know if they would all agree on being the bad guys. I think some of them think they're the good guys. Beastmen should be a 40k army. They are in the 40k books. Also, I think Lizardmen would be cool as well. Nids without synapses like going to the fridge in the middle of the night whilst half asleep. Okay, I like it. Chaos isn't evil. See, there you go. Yes, chaos is not evil. Do Imperial Guardsmen have a mind of their have a mind of their one? And the comment just went away because too many came in. Personally, don't like the relate. I don't need to relate. There we go. I don't need to relate to a faction to enjoy collecting, building, painting, and playing it. Does the model look cool? If yes, I'll buy. That's another reason to play them. Okay. Nope, the Imperium are the bad guys. I would agree with that, Ben Pollard. And so I would also argue that because Blood Angels are essentially chaos, because of their black rage that they're fighting against at all moments in time, except for Mephiston. He's the only one to actually truly conquer it. Yeah, they are... I mean, they're the tortured ones. I wouldn't say that they're the bad guys. They're the ones that you should really feel pity for. I don't think there are any good guys in 40k. I mean, talking about truth bombs, maybe that's the most truthful thing that we've heard all day. I think that's probably pretty accurate. How do we know, or how do we have a mind of our own? Don't we get influenced to buy stuff? Thanks, Google, for listening to my conversations. Vito, get back to work. You're supposed to be painting sisters. By the way, Vito's going to be painting the sisters, so we can look forward to the very exciting, beautifully painted models. Chaos isn't evil. Maybe no good guys is what we are supposed to learn about war. I mean, sure. Audio and video both seem good. Good luck with the stream. Also, paint my demons. I actually really like... oh, wait, hold on. I actually choose the Tau because I really like the manga robots look that they offered in the 40k verse. But Tau are the only one of the 4 armies I have. I'm also 40 years old, so I grew up with all the old cartoons in the 80s. I wish that was a good reason, but you know, you play Tau, so ultimately that's the strike, man. Howdy, y'all. Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you, Chris Cartret. Replying to Liam Dante Taylor. Morse Caven. Yes, yes. Sai, I need a paint minion. There's no paint minions. There really isn't. Well, the Blood Angels are the tortured ones. What about the Filka Fenrika, aka Spaceballs? This Curse of the Wolfen is one annoying thing. See, that's another reason why I play them, and I don't think they're the bad guys. I think they are just, you know, they are. There's a lot of bits, huh? Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? Let's see. We're gonna do a little Chaos Comment Bomb. Are you guys ready for it? For those of us who don't know what a Chaos Comment Bomb is, this is what we are going to do for our Chaos Comment Bomb. We are going to... This is going to be... I'm going to do 2. And the reason why I'm doing 2 is because I want to actually show you guys something. I started a Shrine of Chaos YouTube channel. And this Shrine of Chaos YouTube channel, it will feature short clips. It was actually very much inspired by Joe Rogan. I watch Joe Rogan. I'm a fan of his. He's got 2 YouTube channels. His one YouTube channel shows the full-length interviews that he does with people. They could be like 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours long. And then his second YouTube channel shows off short clips. And the short clips are anywhere from a minute long to 10 minutes long. It's like anywhere in between. And they're more bite-sized, right? And so I figured I would do that with the Shrine of Chaos because I've recently interviewed Nick Nanavati, the champion of 40k tournaments. He's won many, 40 tournaments he's won, and he's the LVO winner, Adepticon winner, and so on and so on. Like the list goes on and on with the stuff that he's won, and many times over. So talking to him about a lot of interesting things. This was last week, and there was so much cool stuff, but it was actually because of his interview, it spawned this idea, and the idea was that I would chop it up into clips and then post it on a separate YouTube channel because there's 10 videos and I didn't want to flood Mini Wargaming's main channel with all of these clips because although these clips are good, it felt like flooding the channel. But if they were their own channel and they were all this, like that's all it was, then great. There could be as many clips as we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to first provide a link to that so that you guys can see what that is. If you want to subscribe to it, cool. It literally just started yesterday, and there's 5 or 6 videos posted right now, and there's more videos being posted every day. I scheduled them out so that more videos are posted every day, and they're short videos. They're 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, just short snippets. So here we go. I'm going to provide that. That is in the chat. Now I'm going to do it a bunch of times because I don't know. If you guys see a block of links, that's me. Restream.io, that's me posting that. So click on that. And like the video, cool. You don't have to comment on it, whatever. It's just it's another YouTube channel that we have. And subscribe if you want. And like that video if you want, and support Nick if you want, because he is a coach of 40k. He's a great dude. Had a chance to have a good interview with him. And if you want to catch the full interview, there's actually a link in the video description of all of those clips that I have with Nick that you can catch last week's. And it's basically last week's Shrine of Chaos episode if you missed it. So, yeah, that's what it is. And look at that. In a matter of like 90 seconds, we basically doubled the amount of subscribers that we had on that YouTube channel. Because it's not hard when you don't have many. So that's what happened. So thank you guys for supporting that. And just so you know, all the clips. So if you don't actually catch if you can't catch every single Shrine of Chaos in person, then look forward to that. That is its own YouTube channel. It's the Shrine of Chaos YouTube channel. Links go to the people that I'll be interviewing. It'll go back to their channels, their websites, and also to full-length episodes on the main Mini Wargaming YouTube channel's live video feed section. All right, so Chaos Common Bomb number 2. Let's do number 2. Let's see, who could be number 2? You know what? This is what we're going to do. I have an idea. I know what to do. Okay, this is actually a sneak peek for next week. There we go. So, this is for next week. Next week there's going to be another giveaway. Today, sponsored by Max Aggression Gaming. It's the Catachan Colonel, the model, the Carl Weathers model, for those of you who don't know, or who are only listening verbally. That is the giveaway this week, which I'll be doing in a few minutes. Next week's